All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're going to learn how to seamlessly integrate Agentic AI into your daily workflow across a bunch of different environments. Seriously, we're talking about taking your setup from a simple, isolated chat box and transforming it into a fully functional, autonomous workspace, one that literally spans your browser, your terminal, and your code editor.
What's really fascinating about this is how it completely flips our perspective. We're moving way beyond just chatting with an AI to get a block of text back. We're now literally handing the AI the tools it needs to execute complex tasks on our behalf. We aren't just prompting anymore, right? We're deploying a digital employee, one that can browse, click, write code, and even deploy it. So here's our roadmap for this explainer. We'll start by looking at the era of agentic AI, go over the prerequisites and accounts you need, and then get into the actual setups, the Chrome extension, the CLI, and VS Code. Finally, we'll wrap up with the different operating modes. Okay, kicking things off with part one, the shift from chatbot to coworker in this new era of agentic AI. So the crucial takeaway here is that unlike traditional deterministic automation, where you have to code rigid step-by-step rules, agentic AI actually acts as a reasoning engine in the loop. It's basically giving the AI a brain and a pair of hands, not just a mouth. It runs on a continuous loop. It thinks, it acts, it observes the results, and then it iterates. If you give it a goal, whether that's building an enterprise-grade app or just booking a flight, the agent plans the steps, picks up the necessary tools, and works entirely autonomously to get the job done. Moving right along to part two. Let's lay the foundation with the prerequisites and accounts you're going to need.
Now, looking at the different tiers really highlights why upgrading from the free plan is pretty much essential for this. See, agentic loops chew through tokens incredibly fast because the AI is constantly thinking, planning, and iterating in the background. The absolute last thing you want is for your digital coworker to hit a rate limit right in the middle of the task, leaving you waiting for hours to get going again. The Pro plan hits the sweet spot for most of us, while that Max plan, that's really reserved for those heavy-duty, all-day software development workflows.
As you can see, there are 5 distinct environments you can use to connect to Claude. But to unlock that true autonomous power today, we're going to zero in on setting up the 3 most impactful ones: the Chrome extension, the command line interface, and Visual Studio Code. All right, part 3. Let's look at the Chrome extension, which is essentially like hiring a digital employee.
The reason this is such a game changer is simple. It handles those tedious, repetitive web chores so you can actually focus on higher level strategy. The source material gives a really fantastic example of this. Imagine you need to book a flight. Instead of opening like 5 different tabs and getting overwhelmed, you just tell the Chrome extension your dates and destination. Boom. It autonomously creates a plan, visits flight sites, compares the prices, and can even click all the buttons to execute the booking with your permission, of course. It's a true autonomous agent operating right inside your browser.
Next up, part 4, the command line interface, or CLI setup. This is basically the ultimate developer arsenal. Before we get into the how, let's talk about the why. Setting this up gives your AI the absolute power to read, write, and execute code directly on your local machine. Think about the old way: copying and pasting code back and forth from a web browser window. Exhausting, right? Well, the CLI lets Claude look at your entire local folder, truly understand your project's context, and make changes straight into your files. So you'll want to follow these exact steps. And keep in mind, Claude will always need your explicit permission to operate within any specific local directory. Step 1, make sure you have Git and Node.js installed on your machine. Step 2, grab the specific installation command for your OS, Mac or Windows, from the documentation and run that in your terminal. Step 3, just type Claude and hit enter. That's going to pop open a browser window to authenticate your account. And finally, step 4, Claude will ask if you trust the specific folder you're currently working in. Say yes, and you're officially connected locally. Moving into part 5, let's configure VS Code and effectively give Claude the keys to your codebase. Now, if you're someone who prefers working straight out of the terminal within VS Code, this sequence ensures your AI assistant is sitting right there alongside your code. It's super straightforward. You just create a folder for your project, open it up in VS Code, and pull up that native terminal at the bottom of the screen. From there, you just run the exact same Claude command we set up a minute ago. Authorize the folder, and instantly, Claude has the full, complete context of your entire codebase to help you debug things or build out new features.
On the flip side, installing the dedicated extension gives you a much more visual, integrated experience that just feels seamlessly baked into your editor. If you've ever used tools like GitHub Copilot, you know this is going to feel incredibly familiar. You just head over to the Extensions tab, search for the official Claude Code extension, hit Install, and follow the prompt to link it to your account. Both the terminal approach and the extension are just phenomenally powerful ways to work. Okay, so here is the really crucial part. Once you've got installed, these slash commands let you monitor and manage your AI's performance and token consumption right on the fly. Worried about a billing surprise? Just type /usage to check your tokens. Dealing with a massive, highly complex, enterprise-grade problem? Use /model to switch the engine over to Opus. Or if you just need a super quick classification, swap it over to Haiku. You are completely in the driver's seat here.
Finally, Part 6, Operating Modes. Let's talk about your safety seatbelts.
So you have 3 built-in safety seatbelts to choose from. By default, you're placed in normal mode. In this mode, Claude can read and write code, but, and this is key, it will ask for your explicit approval before it actually makes any changes. Now, if you are absolutely certain about a task and you just want raw speed, you can flip over to Auto Accept. This skips the permission prompts entirely. But a quick heads up, the source material strongly warns to use that one with caution. And then for maximum security, you've got Plan mode. Here, Claude is entirely read-only. It'll give you a highly detailed outline of exactly what it intends to do without ever actually touching your files.
Well, now that you've got the definitive roadmap, the only question left is, where are you going to deploy your autonomous coworker first? Are you going to automate your browser, or are you going to let it loose inside your codebase? The era of manually typing out every single line of code yourself might literally be over. So, what are you going to build with all your newly reclaimed time?